Growing up in Northern Ontario and stuff, like you hunted, dirt bikes, snowmobiles, that was like the normal thing. Looking at how things go now, I don't get to do anything like that anymore. You know, I haven't been on skates since I got hurt. I've had a phobia. My biggest issue was I was scared to do it again. And because of getting hurt at work and because of what happened to me and the long-term injury that I now have to deal with, there's no chance of me being able to ever do it again. Hey, I'm Burk, and here's my story. It was a last minute thing, and I went to help the subcontractor. They were going to take the blade off a dozer, a D8T. Now on those, to take the blade off them, there's two side arms in the front, and then you undo your hoses and it pulls off. So it's not a big deal to take off. It's done a million times, but that day was different. The dozer was set up, the blade was on the ground. It was on some overburden stuff, which I never thought much of. Never thought it'd be any different than, you know, dirt or rock or gravel. And got all the side pinion out, the front one out, then went to the right side, and it was kind of stiff. And normally, if it could be balled up or burred up from any issues, you grab pry bar, someone just pops out. They only go out 15 degrees or so. I was standing down on the ground beside it, and by putting the pry bar in, you know, just to wiggle it out, just to pop it out, and then we carry on our day. The corner of the blade dropped, and that sidearm, which normally just moves a little bit, popped out the full 15 degrees. And I was standing directly beside it, and my boot stayed in the clay, and my leg moved, and my foot didn't. Drove to the hospital in Fort Francis, so about 45-minute drive away. It took them 2 hours to get me out of the back of the truck. I was in a four-door mega cab Dodge, the back seat, so tons of room. But they had to come in and give me the back brace, like in a car accident, the firefighters put the back brace on people. They had to give me narcotics and everything in my knee outside of the hospital. And so once I got out of there, onto a gurney and into the hospital, and then the x-rays came and all that good stuff, then the real fun started to happen, and the pain started to really set in. So as for the actual injuries that were sustained by the initial hit, I thought it was a break, but I was wrong. So my leg completely dislocated from my knee. It tore my MCL ligament, LCL, and PCL. But mine was very rare because it tore everything the opposite direction. And the doctors at the hospital and everybody that's seen it initially, they were blown away for what they'd never seen anything like it. When they airlifted me from Fort Francis to the other hospital in Thunder Bay, which is about a 4-hour drive, but quick flight. Then I went there, did all the tests. They assumed I had arteries that were severed. The damage I did, there was actually no fracture on my actual, I think it's your fibia and tibia, no fracture on my actual leg itself, because it just took my leg and popped it from my knee back. But basically destroyed everything inside your leg. If it would have been a break, it would have been way better because it would have healed and I'd be normal again. But because of what happened, I'm stuck with this for life. And multiple tests, in and out of the bed all day long, which was excruciating. It was just one thing after another, different nurses, different things. It was terrible. The narcotics they gave me was tramadol. But the biggest problem with tramadol was it destroyed my stomach. And I spent, I think, 2 years in physio. You're depressed, you don't want to be there and listen to people try to tell you what they think you could do. And so I struggled with that for a long time. I did it all for, I think, about 2 years. I finally stopped because there's no difference. I plateaued. And it still hurts and aches every day. And that's the biggest thing, is you're stuck with something for the rest of your life over something so simple that you could never expect to happen to you. You've done it 1,000 times, and something so simple.
What's like, if you were just like, I could give one recommendation to like new employees walking into the industry, what would it be in regards to keeping themselves safe?
Listen and ask. Because if you don't know, don't do it.